Hello everyone, good morning. Kumusta? I hope everyone is fine. I know everybody is doing well. Well, anyways, today marks the second part of the chapter's final term. This is the chapter 6, which talks about environmental protection. Well, anyways, I am Serte and I will be your facilitator for today's meeting. What will be our talk today all about? We will discuss the 7 environmental principles, the important environmental laws, and the third one, the environmental protection in initiative by every individual. So our objectives for today is number one, to recognize the present environmental conditions and challenges in both local and global context. Number two, we will discuss the roles of institutions, communities, and individuals in environmental protection management to achieve balance in serving humanity and protecting the environment. And lastly, to apply best practices and lifestyle choices that contribute to environmental protection and preservation. But before we proceed with this environmental protection, let us define first what is an ecosystem. An ecosystem, theoretically, is like a piece of fabric. Pulling out a thread on it can ruin the entire appearance of a fabric. So, mean to say, for example, if each member of a community of organisms depends on one another and completes the web of life. Like for example, if you do deforestation, if you happen to do a deforestation, witness a deforestation, it will somehow result to flash flood. Okay, so in ecosystem there is what we call interconnectedness in every component. What are these components that we're talking? The ecosystem is composed of abiotic and biotic component. Abiotic factor are those living things, while those abiotic are those non-living things. The abiotic compositions are the bacteria, the fungi, plants, archaea, animals, protists, or anything that produces life. While the abiotic factors are air, soil, light, water, and etc. So in this picture, you can see the connection, the interconnection of everything: the water, the air, the trees, and the animals. The two components were joined in this picture. So makita ninyo diri that the non-living things and living things are interconnected to each other. What you do in a living thing will greatly affect to the non-living thing and vice versa. So this is what happens when this results to our kapabayaan. If we continue to do our bad practices towards the environment, this will result to this. So uh, this is the reason why we have this topic, for you to have an idea about brief information in protecting the environment. Now let's go with the environmental principles. An environmental principle for number one is everything is connected to everything else. Meaning, ang lahat ng bagay sa mundo ay magkakaugnay. Kanina we have discussed that everything, a non-living and living thing are interconnected to each other. So for principle number one, human interaction with nature oftentimes alters the ecosystem. Okay, do not forget that the waste we improperly dispose of brings about the deterioration of land and water quality. And this may in turn reduce their capacity to provide life for us, for other organisms. Like I have given the example earlier, deforestation. Deforestation can cause soil erosion, and the earth deposited on the water bodies cover the coral reefs, resulting to the loss of fishery. Number two. Number two is all forms of life are important. Meaning, ang lahat ng may buhay sa mundo ay mahalaga. All living organisms were created for a purpose in relations to humans or any other species on Earth and global ecosystems in general. When a species becomes extinct, meaning uh, lessen in number, it is like removing a piece of a puzzle from a web of life. Now, the variety of life forms manifested by the different levels of biological diversity, community, species, and genes actually contributes to the stability of the environment. And do not also forget the importance of food webs and food chains. Number three, everything must go somewhere. What do you mean by everything must go somewhere? It means that ang lahat ng bagay ay may patutunguhan. The byproducts of consumptions go back to the environment. Everything we do, it may good or bad, reflects and results to the environment. It will give result in the environment. Everything that we throw away, even a piece of paper, a leftover food, the peeling of fruits, plastic wrappers, even we used of containers, they have to go somewhere. Even plants and animals have their own waste. They have feces, the urine, even dead leaves and branches of trees. It is the law of nature that the byproduct of metabolism return to the soil and acted upon first by, of course, by the worms, bacteria, and fungi, and then converted into minerals, and to be again absorbed by the plants and eaten by the animals. So in short, everything it enters to the material cycle that is an integral part of the ecosystem. Now, number four, ours is a finite Earth. What do you mean by this? Wait, okay. Ours is a finite Earth. Meaning, ang kalikasan ay may katapusan or may hangganan. Everything that we need is provided by nature in abundance. Food, water, energy, minerals, and even air. So, however, some of these resources that we depend upon nowadays are extracted excessively but are very slow to replace. These non-renewable resources experiences limits of supply. So, for instance, a fossil fuel produced over thousands of years may be exhausted in 100 years. So, some energy resources like water, and wood may be replaced easier but have become inaccessible due to the pollution and excessive extraction. Next, no, we're not. I'm sorry. The next is nature knows best. What do you mean by nature knows best? Ang kalikasan, meaning kalikasan, ang mas nakakaalam. Okay? Nature manifests certain processes that enable it to maintain balance and remain it in the state of equilibrium or balance. So the nutrient cycling of nitrogen, carbon, sulfur, and phosphorus in the air, water, and land indicates that the minerals are utilized within the confines of the earth. The flow of energy from the sun enables the light to be converted into sugar in plants. Sugar to the plants through what? Photosynthesis. And later for consumer organisms to obtain energy from plant starch. Again, do not forget the importance of food chains and food webs. Next, the sixth principle. Nature is beautiful and we are stewards of God's creation. What does it mean? Meaning, ang kalikasan daw ay maganda at tayo ang tagapangasiwa ng lahat na nilikha ng Diyos. Okay? Different religions from Islam to Buddhism to Judeo to Christian to indigenous people, animism, expresses the belief of caring for the earth, including all creatures. It is the goal of environmental education and biodiversity conservation education to motivate target audiences towards developing an spirituality that moves them into a more meaningful relationship with nature and a greater participation in the biophysical economic processes that make this world a better place to live in. Lastly, the seventh principle, everything changes. Or in Tagalog, everything, ang lahat ay nagbabago. So, changes in the biophysical world occurs naturally. Like for example, a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, which illustrates a morphological changes that occur in living forms. So seasons are cycling changes that contribute to the diversity of flowers uh, that will help the fruits, vegetables, and other crops during the year. So, sustainable development presents a paradigm of change in the 21st century. So, a sustainable development should promote ecological integrity, equitable sharing of resources, and people empowerment as pillars of growth. Now that we have discussed the seven environmental principles, let us proceed to the important environmental laws in the Philippines. According to the Article 2, Section 16 of the 1987 Constitution, the state shall protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthy ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. So let's go with the first RA. The Republic Act 9003 or Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. So in partnership with stakeholders, the law aims to adopt a systematic, comprehensive, and ecological solid waste management program that shall ensure the protection of public health and environment. This RA, or the RA 9003, ensures that a proper segregation, collection, storage, treatment, and disposal of solid waste through the formulation and adaptation of best eco-waste products. The second RA, the Republic Act 9275 or the Philippine Clean Water Act of 2004. The law aims to protect the country's water bodies from pollution from land-based sources. Okay, it provides a comprehensive and integrated strategy to prevent and minimize pollution through a multi-sectoral and participatory approach involving all stakeholders. The next RA, the Republic Act 6969 or the Toxic Substances, Hazardous, and Nuclear Waste Control Act of 1990. Okay, so the law aims to control, supervise, and regulate activities on toxic chemicals and hazardous waste. Under this act, importation, the manufacture, the processing, handling, storage, transportation, sale, distribution, the use and disposal of all unregulated chemical substances and mixtures in the Philippines, as well as the entry, even in transit or storage, and disposal of hazardous and nuclear waste are highly regulated. Okay? So the next Republic Act, the 8435 or the Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act of 1997. This law establishes that the Department of Agriculture, together with other appropriate agencies, should take into account climate change, weather disturbances, and annual productivity cycles in forecasting and formulating appropriate agricultural and fisheries programs. The next RA, the Republic Act 8749, the Clean Air Act of 1999, which is about it moves for an effective air quality management program that will mitigate the worsening problem of air pollution in the country. Next, the Republic Act 9512, or the National Awareness and Education Act of 2008. This law promotes national awareness on the role of natural resources in economic growth and the importance of environmental conservation and ecological balance towards sustained national development. Next, the Republic Act 9513, or the Renewable Energy Act of 2008. It promotes the development, utilization, and commercialization of renewable energy resources. So we have articles, we have RA 9513, RA 9512, RA 8749, RA 8435, RA 6969, RA 9275, and RA 9003. Those are the important environmental laws in the Philippines. Now let us proceed with the last subtopic of this chapter, the environmental protection by the initiatives of every individual. What can you do as an individual to protect the environment? Okay, even with a simple initiative. So sa balay, a house or a garden, you can protect environment by growing your own food, planting things like uh, garden vegetables and herbs will help you eat organic foods. Okay, buy energy efficient appliances, reduce your electricity use, and reduce the usage of air conditioners. Number two, you can help to protect the environment by conserving water conservation. How? By simply uh, take short showers and share of bath water. To pollute less when washing dishes, wash greasy pans last to keep the water clean. 3. Turn off taps properly. Meaning you have to turn off the faucets properly. Especially when brushing your teeth, every little bit helps. Okay? Use appliances efficiently. Now, how can you protect the environment in transportation? Of course, use a bike. Okay, with gas prices so high, it will pay for itself. Ride it to work, for school, for short distances, to run errands, or even to have fun. Everyone benefits when you ride a bike. So you help conserve our limited oil resources. You are not polluting and you are exercising. Number two, walk short distances rather than drive. uh, Consolidate your trips. If you must drive to do grocery shopping, plan to do all weekly errands on one day. Okay. And lastly, research about energy efficient, electric, hybrid, and diesel engines when buying a new car, motorbike, or scooter. Next, how can you help uh, protect the environment by shopping? Okay, by buying only post-consumer recycled paper products, including the toilet paper and tissues. The paper industry is the third greatest contributor to global warming emissions. So buying recycled is as important as recycling. And you can avoid using plastic bags from grocery stores. So bring canvas bags or eco bags to carry your grocery items. Use reusable bags and boxes. If you need a plastic one, make sure that you use it again and again. Now, how can you help protect the environment? As a community, Okay? As a community, knowledge is power. Okay? Learn everything that you can about global warming. About what is global warming? How does global warming work? Why is it happening? What are the causes? Okay? Inform your friends and family to get them speed about what is global warming, and educate yourself, educate your family, your friends, and everyone you meet. Our culture is just a waking up to issues that have existed for years. The more people are aware of the issues, the more likely they are to make decisions that will be constructive. So that ends our discussion about the environmental protection. I hope everyone understand that. So if you have any question, you are highly encouraged to chat it in your Google Classroom, and it will be answered by your facilitator. By the way, the activity for this chapter will be uploaded anytime today, and as well as the presentation. Thank you everyone for taking the time. I hope everyone is in good condition and have a nice weekend. Thank you everyone. Goodbye.